So you sent that directly to me, right?
Yeah.
All right. So he made these wispy characters, and we learned really importantly that, and we're gonna get this with mocap today. This is a T-pose. We're standing up. This is a T-pose. It's really easy. This is called a pose or rest pose. There's other poses. There's an S pose, and T-pose is the easiest to work with when rigging a character. It's kind of like the position that all the meshes are as far away as possible. It's still a natural human stance, and we'll see why this is important when we get into using the notch later on. I'll actually do it wrong so you guys can see how funny it looks when you do it wrong, and then we'll show you how to do it right. So anyway, T-pose. So he first made the character dancing, and then we decided we needed to do it in a T-pose, so he went ahead and added that to there. So here's our dancers. And for those following at home on the screen recording, I was standing up doing a T-pose. All right. And then, yeah, as I said, I'm going to do Cinema 4D, and this has gotten super simple these days. This is an old version of the software. Dancers, show me and find her. Why is it grayed out? All right, that's fine. All right, so we have Untitled 42. And each of the different textures in Tilt Brush gives us a different model. So we're going to get rid of the Tilt Brush logo, and then we have, there we go, marker geo. So that's something else you did. Oh, very interesting. Okay, great. They're the same object. Okay, you're going to challenge my 3D skills. Yeah. So I'm just going to say select. I selected one polygon, and I'm going to say select everything that's connected to that one. Select connected. Oh, and it's Tilt Brush.
Oh, no.
That's okay.
Do you want me to find?
No. I mean, I'm just going to brute force this thing, and I am not afraid of making a fool of myself on a live screen recording. Let's see. This is really difficult. That's you know, I this is why we can't have nice things. I'm just gonna kind of paint this on, and we'll just get rid of this. See, I'm making all this mistakes so you don't have to. This is hard stuff, man. All this pipeline. You guys are out in the wild. This is not taught here, thoroughly, and so let me know if you have any problems, because this stuff is. I'm more than happy to help out. So now I think I could say select everything that's connected, and at least get a big chunk there. And let's delete. That's good enough. It's good enough.
So there is really no way to.
If they'd been different materials, they would have been fine. To rig the dancing one?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm sure. I don't say no. Like in the future, maybe there will be, but right now, there's no way.
Okay.
Yeah, anything's possible, right?
That's kind of the reason I left it.
Yeah.
I was wondering if there's a way.
Yeah. No, that's no problem. I'll also just go to this little thing and say select everything. There we go. Right? Everything's good. We're all happy. All right, so what's important for rigging is to also make sure that the thing is on the ground and probably in the right scale. So this is only, let's see. We're going to drop to the floor, which I have a plugin that just drops things to the floor. Boink. And then we'll move it to the center. Where's the thing? Oh, I gotta select it. This is becoming infinitely more complex. I'm gonna make it much bigger. That's about 10, 10, 10. Let's go 100. There we go. And drop to the floor again. And now we're working. Still don't know where the axis is, though. Let's move it. There it is. So we're going to center. So I want to make sure the pivot point's on the mesh. So I'm just going to make sure it's centered. Center axis 2. Center object 2. It's probably because I just can't see all the polygons that are in there.
Is that line? The yellow line? Is that where?
Yeah. There we go. See that? There's some hidden geometry. So it thinks that it's at the center. It's because I can't tell if there's like a speck on my screen or a polygon. Let's try again. So just kind of move it. Let's do it manually. It's fine with me. There we go. So I now have its character. Object mode. There we go. And so now this is how you move a pivot point in case you're stuck with. So now it rotates around where this point is, and sometimes they're offset. And in Cinema 4D, there's just a little button right here for moving your pivot point. If I do this and I move it around, it's moving the pivot point. But if I turn it off, then I'm actually just moving the character. So that's an important skill actually to learn, and I'm glad we went through it. So now we just need to orient it. So that's yeah, just know that it's called pivot points, and and so I have local local coordinates, and now I want it to be referenced to the world coordinates. So I'm kind of this button right here. I can now rotate slightly to the side, so it's more vertical. And all of my engineering friends get mad at me, like, you should be looking at it like this, man. So we should be looking at it so that you can see all angles from what's called an isometric viewpoint. So that you can know absolutely that this needs to be like that, right? And this looks pretty good. So this is definitely going to be wonky, but it's worth showing you the demo. So, and then Barris, you know how to do this, don't you? Because you're in the engineering school. You've taken Maya classes, right?
Not really. I took the animation class in undergrad, though. But
oh, really?
I worked in Studio Max.
Oh, but you know how to do all this in Studio Max, then. Yeah. So you didn't have to take Mark's class for modeling and stuff. No. Okay. So Barris's program is like ITP, but it actually is hardcore. You teach what? Algebra? It's physics? What do you have to take? What are the other requirements?
Actually, we don't have to take physics or anything, but we're supposed to take a whole bunch of studio courses that involve basic algebra and stuff.
Yeah, so that's not us, right? Not ITP. That was like the part where Alex Trebek talks to the audience, you know? All right. For better or for worse, this is going to be good. And it's going to get really wonky when we put mocap data on it. All right. There. Back there. And zero it out on the X and Z. 0. And 0. And 0. So now we're ready to go. So you guys are all pros, right? You've seen this once. You own it. All right. So there's a little tab here called Character, and I'm just going to do the character thing underneath it, okay? So now we're going in character mode. Here, it says choose which template we're going to use, and we're going to use a mocap template, so that's really great. There it is, mocap template. And then what kind, we're going to start off with the pelvis, the hip bones. That's the center one we've always been using. and then you'll see there it says Mixamo. There we go. It's going to give us the same exact bone names as Mixamo, so now everything we know, it kind of works with this skeleton. It's really interchangeable. I can do it one side at a time, or I can do it mirrored. So I'm going to add, I think I hold down Shift and do arms. And where's my skeleton? 1 second. It should be in here. Select it. So it wasn't shifted. Let's see what it was. Can it be Command? Okay, so I'm gonna. I think it's because I scaled it. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back to 1, 1, 1, and then we'll scale it up when we get done, or not. Let's see. Let's see real quick. Let's do this again. Character, and the basic setting says that I'm gonna be doing a biped, and that it should be auto-sized. Yeah, auto-size it. Let's go for it. One more time. And then we're going to be Mixamo. And still going to do it tiny. Okay. We'll make it tiny. And next time, we'll just be better at what we do. Let's get into tiny world. What is this? A skeleton for ants? Uh-huh. It's okay. This should work then. Skeleton. Okay. One more time. Mocap. And then, oops, I didn't want to do that one, so we'll do it again. Character. We're going to be mocap, and then we're going to be Mixamo. Great. So it's still not really on it, but we can move it around. That's fine. So let's move it. When I say this is easy, let's just make the skeleton first. Arm. We're going to hold down there. So we've got 2 arms, left and right arm. And then we want, we don't care about hands right now, so I'm going to go back to the pelvis and I'm going to give us some legs. And there we go. So here's our skeleton. I'm going to scale my my model now to be the correct size for the skeleton. And that's the hardest part. So we're going to do like 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. Okay, so this is kind of okay. This is working a little bit. It's going to be off, but that's kind of fun. We're going to make sure that we're okay. So we're going to go back to this character thing, and we're going to adjust. We're going to adjust, and these things are called components. You see these little things right here, and see how it's symmetrical right here. I'm going to now just adjust it. It doesn't have to be a T-pose. I'm just going to adjust it so that these components match my skeleton. Maybe this comes out a little bit more and matches the skeleton there. And then say the hips come out a little bit more, the legs, and maybe the knees a little higher, which brought the feet a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to say done. All right, now I'm going to bind it. Bind it. Boing. So now this character is rigged, and as I move around the different skeletons, it should move the mesh as well. So let's get in here, like the left arm, and let's find the different. It has this animate tab. I've never gotten to work with the mocap model. If I select this bone and I rotate it, you see we have an arm that's moving around with it, right? Right. So this is now, that's character rigging done. Like that's the hardest it can get. Is what I just went through for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I want to get back in a T-pose, right? And I could just like dial in right now, but I can also upload it to Mixamo now, and it will adjust my weights for me and like perfect it a little bit more with its algorithm. So I'm going to do that just because that's a workflow that we're comfortable with. So export this as, yeah?
I have a question. So if I can adjust the skeleton, then why can't I maybe adjust it to the dance pose?
I think it needs to be, let's try it. Have fun. I mean, so that was kind of difficult as it was. You know.
Got it. Okay, I'll try.
Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be Dancer. Let's get to my downloads and let us go ahead. I don't have any textures or anything like that. I'm not worried about it. I don't have any animation, so I'm going to say OK. And let's see if we can upload a Mixamo. I think there's a problem where I have to make it an OBJ for Mixamo, but we'll discover that together.
I guess the only thing is that when you move your knees, let's say, one knee, it's going to try to move the other one, right? Can I?
You can turn off symmetry if you want to. Yeah. Like, did I show you the project from the fall for my motion capture class called Morph? Oh, so this was one of the hardest rigging jobs I've done. I'll show you real quick. This is how kind of crazy you can get with CNYU. Bodies in motion. So trailers. Is this the one? Yeah. So this is this is supposed to be a tumor, a performance as tumor, and super irregular shape. But it works, and we're doing it live. There's me waddling about. So yeah, you could do irregular characters, but they did do it in T-pose, though. It would make it easier, but it was an asymmetrical one. So I'm going to upload it right now. And as I said, I think I might have to export it as OBJ. That's just because Cinema 4D isn't the best for... I mean, Maya still is the best for workflow for doing this kind of stuff. Let's see, Dancer. Computer says... ready to use. This is going to be kind of gratifying for you, isn't it? Let's give it a moment. So many tabs open. So many tabs. All right. There it is. It's rigged. It's there. Let's get some animations on it. What do you want? Zombie stuff? You want magic pack? What do you want?
Catwalk.
Is there a catwalk? I think. Okay. I mean, this one?
That one.
You want the sassy one?
Yes, please. Thank you. Oh my God, that's great.
Guys, this is awesome, right?
Wow.
I love it.
So we're just gonna do a bunch of. So I'm making a custom pack with just every catwalk there is right now, just because it's really important to have catwalks. And then I'll hand this to the class for you guys to do. There's a lot of catwalks. Oh my goodness! There's like wow. We're making.
Dress actually works.
We're making this database of catwalks for machine learning, and I don't think we need to worry about doing catwalks. I think we got it covered.
I thought the dress wouldn't work, and it actually kind of moved with that.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah, like also she doesn't eat that much. I have to say. Okay, so while this is downloading, I'm going to open up an Unreal scene. Yeah.
So much for having my character.
Yeah, no, it's I'm going to give it to everyone to look at, but it's so much easier now. In fact, I was going to show you the weight mapping thing while this is loading up. So if I go into if I want to analyze the weight maps, I can actually see how much influence a bone has on some of the mesh. So like the neck is moving that, the spine's moving that much. And then what we used to have to do before the computers were smarter is we had to hand paint this for every bone back, in the year 2000. And I was like, done. I don't care. I quit. I'm not interested in this. So we can adjust this. We can, we're like, if we have some sort of weird finger, like we have something we want to affect, we have fine-tuned skills here to do the more manual thing. They have brushes that are additive and subtractive, so that you can change the size and opacity. Yeah.
Just curious, so since you're using that base skeleton right away, could you now tack on hands if you wanted to?
I already bound it, but hands were part of the building. After arms come hands, just because you have fingers. And that's the funny thing is you put fingers on things that don't have fingers, and you see how it distorts. It makes us weird grabby motions and stuff. Yeah.
So you basically make that decision before.
Yeah, I decided not to add hands, just because it didn't seem needed.
While you're here, can you show how to do non-mirror?
Non-mirrored?
Non-mirrored.
Yeah, it was just a checkbox. It was just when I was doing the adjusting, I just symmetry's right there. Yeah, so turn it off and then you just do one side at a time. Yeah, no problem. But our character's not here anymore. I think our Unreal's crashing though. So let me. You guys are so easily amused. I'm so used to this magic. Okay. I'm going to do a supercut of all the times my software crashes on me while I do my demos. I was doing one. I was teaching Luc Dubois' music technology class on Tuesday, and I was trying to use Max, and it just was crunch. It kept on, and then Amazon Web Services went down on Tuesday, so GitHub wasn't working for the world. That was a silly demo. And then we took a 20-minute break because I was trying to get my stuff together, and I didn't realize that Steinhardt classes are only an hour and 30 minutes long anyway. We came back from break, and they're like, "When we're done," I'm like, "Somebody could have told me that." Because I was like, ITP students would be like out smoking cigarettes, getting a sandwich, like getting coffee. They're just sitting there staring at me while I'm trying to fix Amazon Web Services. And they're like, "Oh, we don't really take a break during this class." Well, like, you could have said, because it's only an hour and a half. So let's go ahead and it should be my downloads. Dancer, Q download, and FBX. So two of you guys that were doing third-person characters this week. So you know how the third-person character comes with that mannequin, like the blue mannequin that goes around? So that's a different kind of skeleton that doesn't start with a pelvis or a hip. It starts with a root bone on the ground. If you want to actually just interchange and use the third-person character with another character, if you use FBX for... Oh, it's no longer there. Okay, well, sometimes you upload something that has FBX for Unreal, and then that includes a root bone, and the third-person character can just be interchanged. Then you just say switch out skeletal mesh. But we're going to do regular for right now, and then we'll come to Unreal, and then we'll take a quick break while I try to get the phone working, and we'll come back and do custom mocap for our character. I guess somebody's going to be doing a catwalk, right? Yeah.
Is it easy once it's in Unreal? Is it easy to assign what root is?
It has a root motion component to it, but I haven't been able to get it to be compelling. So this is we'll talk about mocap when we get for the next part. Let me just upload this really quick, and yeah, go ahead and take a break. And then we'll come recording. We're doing notch. We're looking over at the phone. So the notches have to be paired first, and this is the process I'm not going to go through. That took me like 30 minutes to do because you have to do one at a time. You go into the notch, which is the center one right here, and then I have to you press it once, and you'll see that it will blink pink, and then you just leave it next to the phone, and it goes through this whole process of everything, and then it turns itself off when it's paired. And now it's been paired to all. It looks like we have about 11 of these notches. So I've already paired them to this phone, and maybe we'll put some like black gaff on this phone, and this will be the one everyone uses, so you don't have to worry about the pairing. That's tedious. I don't care about that stuff. And then we can connect them all. Let's go ahead and bring them back forward so I can start using them. And sure, yeah, it'll be fine. You have plenty of time to hang out with them. I charged them overnight, so I don't know why they would. Maybe they're just not connected right now. Thanks. So what I'm going to do now is, If I press it once, it's waiting for something to happen. It's blinking blue, right? See that? Okay, so I'm just going to do that to all of them. Doesn't have to be pressed hard. And if I want to turn it off, I just hold it, and it will go like, and you're like, oh, I just crushed it and died. And that's how you turn it off. So now I have those guys turned on. I'm going to do the other carton right here. Just pressing it once. And one of these is bad, or I didn't think it was that good. I put a little dot on it. You see this little dot? That means that notch might be the bad one. We only need 11 to do full body. And you don't have to do full body for the homework if you don't want to. I just think it'd be fun. Okay. Blinking, 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 and that. Okay, so I'm going to connect them.
So do these have to be assigned to certain body places, or like could we put them on?
Can you make a custom skeleton? So there we go, refresh. Oh, look, they're all charged. They're all ready to go. Look at that. I charged them overnight for you guys. And they have one recording on them, and it's me testing it last night for the first time at like 2 in the morning. So anyway, you have all these different configurations. You can make your own custom one right here, the first option, right? You can do just a chest. You can do just an arm. You can do kind of upper body hip, like for the golf swing, lower body. 11 is full body head. And then it has 1 real time, or 2 for real time. So this is going to give you actually absolute positioning between two notches. And what Yao figured out is that if we pair 2 notches to 6 phones, we can then do a real time skeleton using this current setup. And so we're talking about the armor that we're going to build, where we have all these phones attached to ourselves and doing real time stuff. And she's using SDK right now, working with Stepan to put it all in OSC for us, so that as part of her thesis. But that was midterms were yesterday, right? So you decide yes or no. You're still okay. That's called a glutton for punishment. All right. So I did get ahead of myself there. I wanted to pair them, but I'm going to turn them off because I can only calibrate one system at a time. So I am now going to, there's a magnetic resonance of this room. Every room has its own magnetic resonance. And what we need to do is we need to actually get that imprint, and these things can get that so that we, basically it's calibrating our room for us to make sure that there's no interference with the notch. Okay, so now just one of them is on, and I'm going to say calibrate my notches first. Turn on dock of notches. I just did that. It sees 6 of them, right? Because I just turned off 6. And then now it's calibrating it. Okay. So it says follow the animation, which is flip it over, rotate it, flip it over, all the way, and rotate it. Flip it over and rotate it. Calibrated. Cool. I'm going to turn these off. Sorry, that's why I said this is a group of people. Well, well, you guys have like 20 phones in the ER.
Oh,
yeah. To pair them? I mean, what do you want me to do? It only took like, if you have a bunch of hands together, it wouldn't take that long. The batteries last 6 hours, and it takes 20 minutes to charge. Okay, great. So I'm going to calibrate this notch. And then once it's been calibrated in that room 20, then it'll work the entire day in that room. Okay. Cool. Ready. Calibrate. And if you don't want to use notch, you want to use perception neuron, you're more than welcome to use perception neuron instead. All right, so it's calibrating. They're all yellow now. Cool. So now we're ready to go. So we're going to do full body and head. Let's turn on 11 notches, it says. Yeah, would you like to grab a seat and come up here? Yeah, it's go time. So we have 11 notches.
But you have to wear that.
It's not a suit. It's just going to be these bands. So now it's now assigning all these different colors to it. It's telling me where to put them. So there's two different. There's for each color. There's two different modes. One is blinking, as denoted as like the guy's head is a blinking blue one, or on his chest it's a solid blue one, and that's how you can have just the amount of RGBs they have. So this might be tedious. So I should have had maybe done during the break. You're going to look up there at the screen. We're going to have them over your forearm, your upper arm, one over your head even. And then I'll hand out the notches once you put them on. And then over your thighs, waist, and your calves. So, and I'll start handing them to you. And yeah, these charge over USB, and yeah, it takes 20 minutes to charge them back up.
How long do they do if they shift in recording? I guess.
They do shift in recording, actually. Oh, you mean like the band itself?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you need to make sure it's tight because it will cause errors. And then the Bluetooth in general, like the accelerometer stuff, actually shifts as well. Anytime you actually pause a little bit, it auto adjusts itself. So if you're going to do anything that's going to be longer than like let's say 20 seconds, you should always make sure you come to rest a little bit and then go back and do what you're doing, and it'll get rid of that shift. It's already built into the system. This one's with your wrist.
Do these bands anywhere say that this is a waist? This is because how would you know, for example, which one is arm and which one is, let's say?
Well, the notches themselves, yeah, but the
So, I guess it doesn't matter.
yeah, I mean some of them are just bigger, some of them are smaller. Maybe we can, if you want to figure out some sort of shorthand for it, it's fine. My thigh is probably somebody else's waist, so. Thank you for doing this, yeah. She came in here just to watch the notch. I thought I'd give her a first-hand experience of it. All right, and then sure, this has taken 15 minutes, but this is so much simpler than like wanding an entire motion capture system, putting on a skin-tight unitard, and putting all these Velcro retroflective dots all over you. Yeah, all a little more like ping pong balls. Yeah. And because because it's not an optical system, it doesn't matter that you put it on your clothes, so that's good. And their favorite use case, Stefan was telling us that this university in South Africa is actually putting these on a cheetah and doing motion capture of cheetahs. So that's a really cool application. So for making a custom skeleton. And that's one of the limitations of our OptiTrack system is that you can't do quadrupeds. This you can make a custom skeleton for if you want to have somebody crawl around or something like that, or poor cat, put it on your cat. I'm sure I'm sure they need to like sedate the cheetah, right? Between the phone? Well, it doesn't have to be near the phone at all. It's storing the data locally. It's only when I download it from the phone. I can go run around and do whatever. I can go for a run in Manhattan and come back. And and then you can choose on the phone what frame rate you want. You can have 20 frames per second. You can have 500 frames a second. Depends on what kind of resolution you want of data. I recommend somewhere around a minimum of 30, so it looks good. That's what the animations for Mixamo are all at 30. Ultimately we're going to put one on your head too now. Oh. What?
I mean, the battery is like 20 minutes charging, but like 6 hours.
Using.
Yeah, data.
Yeah, it's
everything.
yeah.
Why not use the battery on the iPhone.
Oh, to charge it?
No, I mean on the iPhone.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not doing as much.
So, this one?
Yeah, for your head. So now, and are you ready for to be on Instagram with this? Okay. So we'll work down from the top. So you're a trooper. There you go. It's just a hairband. So that's your head. This is your chest. And you snap it right on in. Think that this is your left upper arm. This is your right upper arm. Left lower arm. And then right arm. This is your hips. See, do this in pairs, at least. Do this in a group of 6 people, you know. Once you have somebody in it, let's just go ahead and get a bunch of motions done. Be smart about it. That was left upper. Yeah, left upper leg. And then right upper leg. Left upper calf. Sorry, left lower leg. Sorry. And then finally done. Next is the other one. Okay. So you know I told you about you guys haven't done my push capture. This perception neuron is crazy. You have to go T pose, A pose, S pose, and then sit with your hands right here. And it gives you like 5. It's like super stressful to do it. You're like, and then it's like, no, you didn't do it right. You're like, Notch is really super cool. You just do a relaxed pose. You just put your hands by your side with your feet shoulder width apart. Yeah? Okay. So we're going to say next. Stand still, and then legs or hips distance apart. Arms are straight down, and then you can't adjust the notches anymore. Okay, you ready? All right, stand still. And what's it doing? Oh, okay, we'll try again. We're going to try again. I said maybe the range wasn't there. So I think that your right upper thigh, right here, got turned off. There it is. Good. We need to maybe we need to go back and do this again. So when we put it on, we probably pressed it and turned it off. Now it's turned on. Okay, so now we can try again. Go steady. Success. All right, so it's going to auto download, and then I've logged into this Notch system, and I've logged into the Notch website, into the developer thing. So when I say download, it's downloading to my developer account where I can then email myself this data. So I have stopwatch mode on, which means it just goes for forever. If you want, you can do countdown where you can say I only want to be recorded for so long. And so we're going to start moving from a starting pose. We're going to start from the T pose, okay? So give me a T. You know what you're going to do? What motion are you going to do? Oh, you want to do the range of motion dance?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the range of motion dance that you do in an optical system. All right? 3, 2, 1. Capturing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, you flap around like a bird. Flap around like a bird. You come back, jumping jacks, and then T-pose. And done. All right. You're good. You're good. So it's downloading to my phone. Downloading straight from the notches. It's also stored on the notches until I clear the notches in one of the other menu settings. So it's downloading, and then I'll log into my Notch account as well.
So, should you refrain from shifting them between takes as well?
Yeah, otherwise you need to like redo the. Well, every time it's making you do the standing pose, so I think it's just don't shift during the stuff. So my library. Oh wow, it's taking forever. So this is me from last night, and it's kind of funny because it's like like when you have a butterfly collection, you like pin it right in the center of the butterfly. Doing that for my hips, it's just like I'm like pinned there right in the pelvis. But that was my little dance I did in my bedroom last night. I was like, yeah, notch dance, notch dance, notch dance. That was a horrible T-pose on my part, though. Horrible T-pose. So, do you want to do anything else? This is all we needed was just this, unless you think it's comfortable to wear. Okay. I gotta put it closer to just downloading it for the notches. Yeah, so you can hang out like this. If all else fails, we had this from yesterday. So hers was she fought like a bird, so it's a little more fun. And then I think that I can also visualize last, so let's just see if I don't want to jump too far ahead. I have to wait. Okay, so we'll wait. So then you can visualize it, and the whole point is being able to you can spin around and like be able to analyze all your data. If you're go swimming and take your Samsung phone with you. I couldn't imagine doing 2 hours of data. How long it would download. So this is why it's the bandwidth limitations of Bluetooth Low Energy is why you can't do real time, but Bluetooth, the hardware itself, will continue to get better, and the next version of not the software, of the hardware, will allow us to do more real-time notches. Oh, you guys can't watch my... There we go. So now you can watch the progress while it goes. Almost there. So, yeah, we'll move over to the PC and do Motionbuilder, and then that'll be, and then maybe we'll throw in some media textures. A single recording, I'm not sure if there's a limit to how much a single recording, but it can do, depends on the frame rate, how long it can record for. If you do 500 frames per second, it can only do like 12 minutes. But if you do only like 20 or 30 frames per second, you can do like 4 hours of recording. And so, this is nice to be a lunch project. We graduated in 2012. So this is super cool. So that's kind of, that gets pricey, especially when it blended with your own stuff. Like, we were definitely talking about places to get things with facial rigging. And, like, Mixamo or Fuse characters do have facial rigs, but they're not animated already. You have to hand animate them, and that's not really worth it. We don't have enough time to do that. So there are solutions for doing real-time recording, but they are expensive,
There's no
There's nothing like Notch for the face. If you wanted that for your pieces, it would be huge.
Have you ever heard of Face Shift?
But Face Shift was bought by Apple and kerplunked. And then how do you blend that to the other body? Because it's not doing bones. It's doing a point cloud mesh distortion. So it's not really. So it's a different system. There might be some systems out there, and I haven't really gotten into like some of the like open frameworks or Cinder library or something. You guys find out Faces. When I've talked to the other teachers, I'm like, this is the biggest limitation of this workflow right now is I don't have anything for Faces. What we do is when I did the piece for the Met, we did different gestures. We did different like masks. So we did different like surprised and whatever, and we just blend procedurally through the different faces. But we didn't have actual like real-time facial tracking. Almost. Says it 59. It is. But yeah, it's be able to make your own custom animations. And then if anyone does get deep into vocab and you do want to do some sort of absolute positioning thing and you want to get into the suit and everything or have performers, it's free for you guys to use like the motion capture system at Magnet. We can get you in there. It's for students. There's an assistant there who, once it's done, Connection error. Reset the Bluetooth on your device. Yay! So one time. Let's see. No, I'm not going to download it again. I think we'll just use this guy. It'll be fine. But you guys saw the process.
And so the last one is already the maximum.
I think 11 is the maximum. We have 12 here. We have two, 6. But just go ahead and take off. I did this last night. I just took them off and put them next to the phone and let them download from over here. So while it downloads, we'll get her custom animation on Akrat's custom skeleton and our custom character in a second. But for right now, unfortunately, we're going to besmirch the catwalking thing with my own movement. It's
It looks great.
okay. You're very, very kind.
It's a great dance. And she's a dancer. She's not a catwalker.
She's a dancer, true.
Dance is more appropriate.
Okay. A dream is a wish you'll call me. All right, so I am going to log into this laptop over here, and we will watch through a window at. Thank you again, yeah. And we're in. Okay. So I'm going to grab, I'll just download it over here from Mixamo. All right. That was fantastic. It was a brief engagement, but yes. Okay. So if anyone gets this computer, I'm logged into Mixamo, so you can use my account. I love acquiring everyone's crazy characters. Oh no, I'm Jeffrey now. Oh no, I want to be me. TJB. All right. And it's this one. There we go. So I'm going to download my dancer, and we're going to jump into doing Motionbuilder. And this is like, this is the hardest workflow I could think of. Here's all the animation paths. Great. So we're going to do the process of called retargeting. Retargeting means you're telling one skeleton to drive another skeleton, and this software is magical, and it has 15 years of legacy of like perfecting this experience of like I can have a person who's 4 feet driving a monster that's 12 feet, and I can have some sort of long arm thing being driven by somebody with irregular proportions. So it intuitively figures out the IK chains and how they the way the bodies move with different characters. So and we're gonna press like 5 buttons. You'll see we're gonna press 5 buttons and we'll be done with it. But I don't know. I don't think it's ever been taught at ITP in a little while. So I'm going to download my BVH file. My BVH file is one of the oldest kinds of motion capture data files. It's human readable, and it's a human readable file. And it's just like a text file. Okay, great. So my developer, and my library, and here's my dance. So you'll see it says download BVH, and there it is, BioVision file. And as Stepan will tell you, there's 2 different files in here. The one that says notch format is complete crap. It's unusable. But the one that says Motionbuilder, this is us. So I'm going to say Todd Dance. it doesn't have any positions, so it's just like all these rotations on top of each other. It's just like a placeholder until they get something better. It's in development. Show our folder, and that's right. Here's our, and it should be a T-pose. Our character should be in a T-pose. If not, I can show you how to fix that one. There's the dancer. And we're going to put Motionbuilder, which I just installed on this computer. It should be on most of them. Okay, it errored out again, unfortunately, for the notches, so, you know. Okay, Motionbuilder. So we're going to first import our character. Open character. In progress. And dancer. And then it's just right here it says whatever. Motionbuilder is all about animation tracks. This is not a. We don't need an animation track from mixed mode. This is just an empty one, but I'm just going to uncheck it. You can leave it like it is. And then there it is with a whole bunch of random. Wow, I've never seen that before. Yeah. Display, wireframe, display normals. Anyway, so this is our model right here. It has a bunch of rotation things. Let's see. Anyway, we won't worry about it. I'm not going to let it distract us. So our character is in our scene. On the bottom left side of the scene. And there is the character. Yeah, okay. So our character has a pelvis. And over here, we have some of the templates. We just need to let it know that this is a biped character. We're just going to say, this is a character that is a character. Character, character, character. And let's throw it on that pelvis and characterize it. We know that it is a biped. So that was quick. It's going to be recorded for you. You can come back and review it later. Okay? So now it knows that not only do we have this asset in here, but we have a character in here. And just so we don't get confused, I'm going to rename it Avatar. This is the avatar we are using. Okay. And now let's bring in that data. We're going to import that motion file. It was on our desktop. And it is this Todd dance. So, oh, that's just all of them. Okay, yeah. Todd dance, import. Great. So if I go to wireframe, X-ray mode, we could scrub it and see the dance happening. So you see the dance behind all that, whatever that crappy, weird colors are? There's me. Okay, so that's my skeleton. And we want this skeleton to drive the other skeleton, okay? I'm going to do the same thing I just did with characterizing the root, letting it know that it's a biped too. But because I could make a quadruped drive a biped, or who knows what kind of glitch art we can make a Motionbuilder. One thing I did tell us upon is that he made a small mistake with his naming conventions, and this is documented here. I know this is stupid, and don't get frustrated with me. It shouldn't be called Spine 1, it should be called Spine. I told him this, he's fixing it as soon as possible. I was the first person to actually ever use it in Motionbuilder. Otherwise it throws an error for this. So it should be labeled Spine 1. And this is just, if you look at Mixamo, it's done the same way. Spine 1, and Spine 2.
So what are they named?
It was named Spine 1, Spine 2, Spine 3, and everything is looking for hip spine. So it's just something, if you have problems, give it to me. I know this is another piece of software, but I really think it's important to add motion capture to this class so that we can have custom animations. So, and I'm giving you all of spring break to figure it all out. So anyway, going back to the characterize stuff. Oh, you guys don't use your free time to do more work? Oh, Jesus. How are you going to be productive? All right, so this is a biped too. And now I'm just going to go to Avatar, double click, and I want to have a character driving a character. Make it active, and let's hit play. So I'm now a dancer. Dancing for money, do what you want me to do. So there's some things where like some of it, it's two different skeletons. So there's a lot of settings where like my character might not be reaching as far as it should be, and there's literally like hundreds of different settings to finesse it, should you want to. And if you do want to make it really really nice, you let me know and I'll guide you through that, because there's like some like 5 or 10 key ones to hit if you want to make smooth motion capture. But for now, we just did the thing, right? We've now done motion capture data, and we've now put it onto a character. I'm just going to say plot the character. I'm going to say plot it to the skeleton, and then I'm just going to leave all this default. And
it's okay that the T-pose, my T-pose and your T-pose will start.
You'll see that they're off, right? That's why we should have a good T-pose. It's those kind of mistakes that are informative to the whole process, that it really needs to be. So I could have adjusted the character on frame 0 to have a better T-pose. I could have gone to the bone and rotated it and keyframed it, keyframed, so that it had a better initial position. I'm just kind of eager to make sure I hit everything the next 20 minutes. So I'm just going to, if I wanted to like trim it, I could send it to Maya, so I could say just send me these few frames. I could just export it right now. So it has a thing where you can send to Maya as a new scene, which will like open up Maya, and we can see with all these wonderful colored circles around it. And you guys have been seeing that. You guys have seen that the warning where you have no smoothing groups. We're going to add the smoothing groups so you don't get any errors anymore. So it's sending all the data over. Maya right here. This is the layout for Maya. There's our character, and it seems to be bringing these crazy things with it, which we'll get rid of right now. That's the mocap data. We're going to delete it. Here we go. Did that go to the animation too, though? That's okay. There's an undo button. But do I not have my animation? I must not have plotted it correctly. That's fine. We'll just export it from Motionbuilder. So if I drag it, it's still doing it, right? Rewind. Okay. Okay, still moving over there. Okay. File, export. Let's save as. Send it to my one more time. Don't save. Weird. And we are going to save as. Yeah. Yeah. I did this morning and last night, and it was fine. So if this doesn't work inside of Unreal, I'll redo the screen saving when I get home. So we just want the Todd dance. I'm gonna save it, and I have an Unreal scene waiting for me. Waiting and wait. Let's see. Waiting. Okay. Import from the desktop. Dancer. Open. As an animation. Okay. So we've seen this error before, so people ask me about it because I need to reference that frame 0. Let's just go back to importing it again. I'll show you where that button is. Import from desktop. Frame 0. Let's say import all. And hopefully this will work. It says it's too small. Oh, I didn't get the Maya, so I didn't get the groups. But there's our dance. We now have custom animations inside of Unreal. So glitchy?
Like that.
Oh, that's just some screen recording, and it's
Great.
This is pretty cool, guys. I mean, I know that was a lot of work, but this is really cool.
Great band.
All these demos, I'm doing like 4 demos this week. Luckily, one of them is only an hour long. Without further ado, we have our wonderful character. That is great. I'll send these files to everyone so you can kind of play with it. And I am going to come back over here and just really quickly show you guys how to do a media texture, because I know a lot of people are needing to get textures on there, and it's really not well documented. So if I put the mod there we go. So just very quickly, I'm going to even use the same video that I already downloaded to save time, so I know something works. And I'm going to do it in 414. Actually, I'll just open up. I'll just open up your project since we did it together. So. Well, it's kind of cheating. Yeah, I feel like that's cheating when I do it from scratch. We're going to use the same video file, though. So I'm going to do the... One second. I already have a file open. Sure. Let's do this one then. Great. So I am going to, first of all, go to the project I was doing with Yuting earlier, and I'm going to grab this video file. And as you see, there's a folder called, I'm going to create a custom folder called Movies. This is just not well documented. That's why I'm doing it, so you guys have it for reference for later. So I'm just going to copy that file and come back over to this other project, which was week 6, right here. And was that today? Today, yes. Content, and I'm going to make a new folder. So this is going to be called Movies. I'm going to put that file in there. It's called Chaos. And then I'm going to go over to Project and import it in. Probably should close it. Oh, there it goes. Let's go back to Content. And then give it a close, and then open it back up. Week 6. And this is an equirectangular video. This is going to be mapped onto a sphere so that we have a 360 video in Unreal. And then you have all the interactivity you'd think of for Unreal with 360 video, like switching out different textures and putting things on live show control, putting things on key presses and all that kind of stuff, so we can make our own interactive 360 movie app should we need to. So I now have a movies folder there that I created, but it's not in there. I need to import it and tell it activate to import itself. So movies, chaos, and then open, and it's creating a media source. Okay, saving that. I'm going to make a new media texture, which is underneath. There's a folder for media, and this will be a new media player. And I want to grab just the video. I can grab the audio. Like basically, this I'm going to reference another movie. I'm going to take out things. I'm just going to take out the video for right now. I could do both if I wanted to. And this right here, yeah, the media folder.
Yeah, that media.
So I right click. And I went to media right there. And I could have made a media file source there and then directed it towards the movie folder in the file if I wanted to. They're not connected yet. These are two separate things. They haven't been connected yet. Okay? It's just a media player. And it has it automatically made a media texture for me. So if you remember, we use textures to then make materials. Right? So we're going to jump ahead, and I'm going to right click on the texture, and I'm going to create a material. And for our purposes, we want it to be a seamless 360 video. We're going to make it so that it's in the emissive, not the base color. We don't want it to be shadowed. We want it to be dark. So I'm going to make it unlit and going into the emissive. All right. If I go back into the media player, to save all real quick, just in case something happens. Save all. Boom. If I go into this media player and I double click on the file, we'll see that it. I have to scrub it. It's fine. This has worked many times. Stop it. fucking hilarious. This is what it did 2 weeks ago when I tried to do this. Anyway, I'm going to close it and open it back up again. It'll work. No media. So this is a media player. It's still not connected. It's just I had a list of all the media here. It's just a media player, but they're not connected. They're going to be connected via a quick little blueprint we're going to do when we get into the project. Let's see. Playback options. Video track, text disabled, decoder, automatic. Great. Let us look. That'd be funny. So I am having a wild speculation that there's a codec problem when you're doing screen recording. I'm going to restart one more time. So this happens, what I'll do is I'll just I'll give you a reference and I'll just show you and I'll turn off the screen recording and prove that it works. I'm going to check real quick. Gotta keep cool under pressure. Oh, there it goes. See that? It just showed up all of a sudden. There we go. Now it's working. Persistence. Rewind. And play again. And there it goes. You know, what are you going to do? Okay. So we're going to make a couple more mistakes. Don't worry. It'll be fine. So now you see right here the texture's been updated, and you see that the video on the icon is going through. If I open this player again, we can see that if I double click on it, and kind of leave it open, and it'll show up. And I put, like, let's say the material right here, there. It'll be playing back video. It won't be connected. It's just going to preview the video. So now you see, like, the video is playing on there with a video texture. But this is not really connected. It's just previewing it. I have to show you. We have to do like 2 quick things in blueprints, and also we're going to create a new scene. We're going to start with a blank level that's completely dark, and I'm going to add in a little bit of atmosphere just so I can see things what I'm doing. Geometry, visual effects. Put some fog. Great. Now I can see things. Basic. I'm going to add in a sphere. I'm going to make it like pretty big. This is going to be my 360 video sphere. And then I'm going to put in I'm going to put a player start. Okay, we're inside the sphere, right? Let's put the sphere in the center. 0, 0, 0. And then I'm going to say what material. This material is going to be this material. The thing is I'm on the inside of the sphere. I'm not on the outside of the sphere. We can't see it. That's why it's invisible. We need to make this material double-sided. I think when I started doing this the other day, I made a sphere and I inverted the normal so the material would only be single-sided. If you're going to be targeting the Gear VR, I would definitely do that process, and I can help you out because you're rendering less. You don't want to render a video twice if you don't have to. So now we can see that we look around and there's like stuff going on. We're inside of the sphere. But if I hit play, it'll be completely dark. No. Is that a weird shape? Oh, I totally made it a weird shape. That's hilarious. That's why we added in the atmospheric light. It's 100 by 100. Oh, I put 1,000. There we go. There we go. So now we're inside, but we need to get that video. We need to get that video playing. So I am going to show you how to do the blueprints really quick. Open the blueprints. We're gonna.
It's not playing because this needs to be fixed.
Because that media player is it could be playing a series of videos. We need to assign the file to the player on event begin play. So I'm going to create a variable for a media texture. So what type is this data? This is media player. Little media player. Reference to media player. And then what is that media player? Well, by default, there's only one. It's the one we just chose. So we're going to get it. And on event begin play, we want to open the source, which is now we're referencing, the player is referencing the file on the disk. So that might be complicated, or it might take a few seconds to think about. The media player needs to reference the file on the disk. This is the variable for media player, or reference to a video player. Just like dragging it from my class outliner. And then we set back in the player that when you open, play on open. So it's going to automatically play. I don't have to tell it to play. We're just going to say, taking the file and saying, be played by this video player. That's all. Okay? Painless. We hit play. And if you remember from previewing the video, it actually does have like 5 seconds of dart. So now we have a... So now we have a 360 viewer, and this could be exported to Gear VR. We can trigger this off OSC. We have a 360 video player that's completely interactive, up to 4K textures. Yeah. So you might notice a couple of like some small hiccups here and there. Like it gets a little pinched towards the top or whatever. That's just the way we're not making a good model. I'd make something a little bit higher poly count, and maybe something that doesn't pinch at the top. There's different kinds of spheres in the world, and there's one called like an icosahedron, where it's every single polygon is the same size, so that it doesn't have any creases or pinching to it. And it's like a default thing in Cinema 4D to make an icosahedron. One sec.
So that's an equirectangular video source?
This is an equirectangular video source, but there is an object called a cube, a scene capture cube, that renders equirectangular video textures to things. So you can actually have another scene that's rendering to a sphere that might get a little processor intensive, but Unreal can render out a monoscopic equirectangular texture built in. It does have a special plugin for doing a stereoscopic equirectangular for doing basically export of your scene. It's a plugin that we have to enable. That's it. So just you have to have everything kind of connected to a camera in sequencer, which we haven't gotten to yet. That's after midterms. I'm going to. You saw it on Monday. You got ahead. A quick thing here is Unreal is no longer the topmost application. I think we might have talked about this before, but when it's not the topmost application, it tries to conserve CPU, so that's why it's choppy. If this ever happens to you and you're like, what's going on, you can make it either the topmost application, or just go into your editor settings, which are right here, and just tell it to not use less CPU in background. Because when we're going to do live show control, we're going to have other applications that are in front of it. And just the one last thing I want to show you is like in Cinema 4D, I can just underneath sphere, I could say sphere. And standard, I could say icosahedron. And if you look at the wireframe of this, create it to an object. Every single polygon is exactly the same size. So this is also really cool to extrude, and like this is a really cool object. So I could save this as an FBX, or I could take all the faces, go to the mesh, reverse the normals. So now it's all facing inward, and I can not make my video texture two-sided, therefore saving half of my CPU for rendering in a Gear VR. So save, export, I'll upload this this model to the Slack channel for this week. And this is just called 360 Video Sphere. So, find the groups that you were doing the last group assignment with, and see if they want to do mocap with you guys, or if that's convenient for you, because it does take at least 2 people, if not 3 people. I'm going to put this in the ER. I'll just put it in the ER with the phone, and hopefully we won't have the problems with downloading it. If not, we all just use my animation. Go through the motion of this. Stepan lives just really close by. We'll have him come in if there's any problems. You're going to say, it's your stuff, So we're quickly, I'll stop this. I'll import from my downloads the actual real sphere. Downloads. 360 Video Sphere. And this is just a little bit nicer. That's all. Don't worry about it. And put it in the world. Put it in the world at 100 by 100 by 100. Did the 1,000 thing again. 100. Cool. And then get rid of the other one. And then put this media texture on it. I didn't put a material on it. That's fine. It doesn't have a material slot. I'm just going to add one. There we go. Genius. Oh, that Unreal could do it. Not that I figured that out. That wasn't there in a previous version of Unreal. So this is just a little bit better rendering. So, any questions?
Would you say this is how you would maybe do a kaleidoscope?
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I mean,
Because